How's it going? Welcome to Chats with Spencer. For interviews full of fun and interesting questions just like this one, subscribe. New videos every Tuesday and Friday. My guest this week is Li3a, a musician who streams on Twitch. I only recently discovered music on Twitch, but it's such a great experience. You get live music as well as interaction with the artist. Li3a is a talented musician who does covers and her own original music. So please check out her stream and her music, links in the description below. Sit back and enjoy my interview with Li3a. Hi Li3a, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting.
No problem. So Li3a, I was just wondering if you could maybe tell us a little bit about, I know you said you grew up in Moscow and then you eventually moved to the UK. Can you just give us a bit more background on your childhood, or maybe like what kind of kid you were, maybe even how you got into music, that kind of thing?
Yeah, sure. So, I kind of started taking piano lessons when I was 5. Obviously, not by
Okay.
myself, but my mother
Mhm.
brought me into a piano lesson. She tried many things with me actually, because she obviously didn't know what I would prefer. So I tried drawing, I tried like dancing, swimming,
Mhm.
like a lot of different things, but I was not really interested in anything. And then when we went to my first piano lessons, I was just so excited and I really loved it and I was obsessed with it. So I was like, even after the lesson, I would be practicing. Like, obviously, on the first lesson, they don't really teach you how to play, they just teach you like how the position of your hands should
Mhm.
be and all of that. And I remember I was practicing that for like the whole evening after my first lesson. And then my mother kind of got the idea that I'm interested in that. And that's how I started with music. And then I always had a good ear since I was a child. I was actually recently talking about this with my mother, and she was telling me how when I was like 2 or 3, I was already singing. Like,
Okay.
so before I actually learned how to talk properly, I was
Mhm.
singing, and I was always hitting the right notes, and that's how she kind of got the idea that probably she should, I should try music, or like try and learn an instrument. So yeah, I kind of was into music all my life, and when I actually started going into music school, I was doing very well. And
Mhm.
I went to one of the like best music schools in Moscow, but only for like 3 or 4 years, because after that I started having like, so basically I was doing well and I was, passing all my
Mhm.
exams very well, and like they were planning to, send me off to like festivals and like bigger things. So basically the teachers in school, they had like big plans for me,
Mhm.
but I was not dealing with the mental pressure of it very well. And so my
Mhm.
mother had to take me away from that school and give me into like a normal music school, like
Mhm.
a less stressful one.
Fair
So
enough.
yeah. And basically, yeah, after music school, so bear in mind that in that time I was not really singing professionally or anything like that. I was
Mhm.
mainly focused on just classical piano training.
Okay.
And I pretty much started singing after I moved to the UK, because when I moved, I was still in high school. And then in that school we were able to choose any classes we wanted, and they had
Mhm.
singing there. And I decided like, oh, I'm just gonna give it a go. And so I tried it and I liked it, although it was more like, uh, again, it was like classical singing, so it was more like opera type of a thing. But still, I really enjoyed it, and ever since then I kind of, yeah, I was singing and playing at the same time. So yeah, that's the story.
Um, were your parents musical as well?
Yeah, my mom, she actually is a singer. Um, she even did it for like as a career, you could say,
Mhm.
for a few years. Back when we were still living in Russia, though. So yeah, but she was more like a folk singer. I'd say, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, to answer shortly, my mother is a singer, so I guess that's where I got it from.
Okay, so kind of related to that, Lisa, is there a song that you kind of like remember very vividly from your childhood? So maybe it's a song your parents played, or something maybe you heard on the radio, something like that, that you just kind of like, for some reason, it just really stuck with you.
Yeah, actually, I was talking about this recently on my streams. It's not just one song, but I basically had like a CD disc that I would
Hmm.
listen to all the time. It had like, I don't know, maybe 15 songs or so. And it was like Russian children's song, basically. Like,
Okay.
I don't know how else to explain, but it's like, it's very old school,
Hmm.
probably written whilst Russia was still part of USSR type of music.
Hmm.
But I really liked the songs. I remember like, yeah, I really, it's like a few of them that I remember very well, and the rest I just like kind of remember, but I was actually singing one of the songs on my streams recently.
Okay.
Because I randomly remembered it and I decided to like give it a go, and it kind of went well. I really liked, because it's like when you don't really listen to something and then suddenly you listen back to it, it just gives you
Mhm.
a lot of like memories and feels. So it was kind of nice to play it.
Lisa, do you remember the first album you ever bought?
I don't think I remember now. I never bought like a physical album, I don't think,
Hmm.
because I was born in 1995, so kind of I had CD discs, but I wouldn't buy them
Hmm.
myself. So my parents would buy it
Okay,
for
fair.
me. So I can remember that. And then after that, I already got my computer, so I was downloading music. So it's
True.
I don't think I bought an album, but I was a big fan of. I can tell you which album I think
Sure.
I downloaded, which was I think it was the Rasmus. I can't remember the name of the album though, but
Hmm.
it's one of the albums by them. Yeah, so I think it was the Rasmus.
All right. So I'm just wondering, what are some of your other passions outside of music? Something maybe that that you like, maybe you do on your free time, but just something you're passionate about as well.
I really like to draw. I'm really not good at it at all, but I always liked it. So I would say probably drawing.
So are you kind of drawn to just like creative outlets, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So like sometimes if I'm in the mood, I would just like I usually don't draw from like imagination because it's too hard for me. Because I will
Okay.
imagine a very pretty picture, but when I try to draw it, it just doesn't look like in my imagination. So I
Okay.
prefer to kind of have a picture in front of me and I like kind of copy it type of thing. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So if you could collaborate with any other musician,
Mhm.
who would that be and why?
That would probably be Gali Matias. He's like a producer. Although
Okay.
he did release an album recently where he sings, so you could
Hmm.
also say he's a singer now. But yeah, I really really like his music. He has a very particular style and very unique. I first heard it like he did a collaboration with another singer. Her name is Alina Baraz. Alina Baraz. Yeah. They did like an album called Urban Flora, and it's super nice. And again, like it's very very unique, and I really liked his sound. So if I could, I would collaborate with him.
Lisa, is there something people might find surprising about you? So maybe it's hidden talents, an odd interest, something along those lines.
Surprising. Um, I don't know. I guess the fact that I can do very good impression of like villains. So like
Okay.
I'm really good with like evil laughter and stuff like that. So I think that's kind of surprising. I don't think people expect me to be good at it, but I'm kind of good at it.
And how did you discover this talent?
I don't know. I actually don't know how. I think randomly. Um, yeah, me and my mom were always like fool around, like, and she, I think she kind of taught me how to do it when I was a child. So maybe, yeah, that's how it started.
So if you could visit any time period in the past, what time period would that be?
I guess, I don't know, actually. There's so many options. Well, okay, I think I'd like to visit ancient Greece just to see like
Okay.
because I'm so curious how those people were so smart at that time. So
Hmm.
maybe like I'll discover that there were aliens out there helping them out or something. So I would like to go and check for myself.
And a similar question, if you could go back in time and witness any concert, what concert would that be?
Okay, I think if I could, I would love to go and listen to Rachmaninoff live. So obviously he was, I think back in the days, he was giving concerts. So if I could, I would go back in time and listen to one of his concerts. Him or Tchaikovsky.
All right, we're going to switch pace a little bit. We're just going to go into some like less in-depth questions, but if you want to elaborate, feel free. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, just because I'm allergic to cats, but yeah.
Spring or autumn?
Probably autumn.
M&Ms or Smarties?
M&Ms.
One of your favorite movies?
That would be The Fountain.
Would you rather go on an adventurous vacation or or a relaxing vacation?
Adventurous.
What is a TV show or movie that was your favorite as a child?
Friends. My older brother was always watching, so I was watching with him.
Oh, okay. If your next meal could be anything in the world, what would it be?
Anything in the world. Okay, it will be dumplings. Since I was talking about it, now I want it.
When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
A film composer.
When if you go to the corner store, what is your go-to snack?
Um, I guess like there's this cookies. I can't remember the name, but it's basically like it has like orange flavored jello, and then they're covered in chocolates. It's like biscuits with orange jello and chocolates. I can't remember.
Uh,
It's either called
Okay.
Tiger, something like that. But yeah, that's what I usually buy.
What's your favorite song to perform at this moment, I guess?
Yeah. At this moment, it will probably be my original song called "Not Knowing You at All." Like I really enjoy because I usually like when I play it, I also improvise, and I always do
Mhm.
like different improvisations and stuff. So I kind of like it.
Yeah, no, I caught it on stream yesterday.
Oh, you
Very
were
nice.
yesterday. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. I usually improvise on all of my songs, but this one in particular I like because it kind of
Mhm.
allows me a lot of space for it.
Do you remember the first song you ever learned on piano, or
Think I do.
roughly?
Actually I do. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was Swan Lake, but obviously I was not like playing it. I was just playing the
Mhm.
left hand, which is two notes. It's like boom 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 boom, boom.
Mhm.
And then my teacher was actually playing like the actual melody.
Mhm.
I think that's the first thing I ever learned.
Do you remember your first performance?
Think I do. Yeah, it was in my music school. So it was like they would do like trimester exams. So like for 3 months you're learning new like pieces, and then like say the year starts in September, and then end of
Mhm.
November you have an exam. So I think that was maybe that exam was my first like ever performance.
Think of a song that you really like that you didn't write, and or just you just really enjoy it. What song out there do you kind of wish you wrote?
um okay, let me think. Mm. Just the first thing that came to mind is this song by Clara called. I mean, I also don't really wish I wrote it, to be honest. No, I don't think I don't. No, sorry, I don't think I have any songs that I wish I wrote, because if I want to write something, I just write it.
Hmm.
But then if there's a song that I like, I appreciate the person who wrote it, and I don't
Okay,
wish to write it myself. So, yeah,
that's
probably
fair.
probably none.
So I know I read on your Twitch page that you said like movie soundtracks, right? You're really like that, like composing for movies would be really cool. So I'm just wondering, can you tell me three movies or your top three movies with top three movie soundtracks?
Okay, so first would be Pride and Prejudice. I actually sometimes play it on my streams as well.
Hmm.
It's the one that was released in 2005.
Oh, okay.
It's the music is by Dario Marianelli in that movie, and it's really pretty. Like I know like almost I actually own like a physical copy of the all of the scores from that movie, and I play it sometimes because it's so good. The other one would be probably like all the music from Interstellar, because I think it's super cool. It's very simple again, but it's just very great. And then the other one would be Harry Potter.
And next question is, if you could, if you were in charge of remaking a movie soundtrack, so just like putting your own spin on it,
Hmm.
what movie would that be?
Probably Pride and Prejudice I could do very well, because it's very similar to
Hmm.
the music style that I write into. So yeah, that'll be pretty simple for me to do.
This one might be kind of hard, but can you think of a really bad movie, but it had an amazing soundtrack to it?
Well, it's not a really bad movie, but it's. I think it's. I didn't probably just didn't understand it. But there was this French movie called Amelie.
Oh, yes.
It has great music, but I don't
Hmm.
think I understood the movie very well. Like I didn't really like. Yeah, I just didn't understand it well. So I was not a fan of the movie, but I'm a huge fan of the music.
Okay, okay, that's fair. All right. What was the best place you have visited?
The best place. I don't know. I really don't know. It's hard to say because it's like I really I traveled a bit, I guess, and like
Hmm.
all of the places that I visited, I really like liked, but they're also different, and I cannot really say that I prefer one to another. Maybe I'm yet to like discover my favorite place. Probably that would be the answer.
Okay. Is there anything you wish you knew, your younger self knew that you know right now?
Yeah, I guess. Um, I guess that so probably I wish I knew that sometimes my parents were so for example my mother would she knew that I was quite competitive, so
Hmm.
then she would like say something like, oh, oh, that boy on your music concert, he played so well, and she
Hmm.
would say it on purpose because she would know that that would make me practice harder, and
Hmm.
and yeah, basically do better. But I would take it very personally as a child, and I would be very mad that I would be like, my mother prefers that boy to me, I'd be very upset. And I wish I knew that that was not the case.
Regarding your new song, Good Girl, and just kind of like the story behind it, obviously, I'm going to let you tell it just because I think it needs to be told. And unfortunately, it's the experience of a lot of female streamers and like content creators. Can you just give us a brief overview of it and just like kind of talk about the song?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like I started streaming like I think July last year, when lockdown started, and I kind of got into streaming. And I actually started from Reddit, which is not a very obvious choice, just because it's
Hmm.
not their live streaming platform there is quite new. I think it's only like a year or 2 year old, so not even everybody knows that they have that option there. But my boyfriend had Reddit, and then he said like, why don't you try it? And then I tried it, and it went quite well.
Hmm.
Almost from the first stream, like I was attracting like a lot of viewers and stuff, and it was great. But then yeah, after a while I started noticing that issue that you mentioned, so that it was a lot of like trolls and a lot of like especially sexist comments from men coming, and then I and obviously like they wouldn't like I would go and like scroll, and then I'll look at around like at other streamers, and
Hmm.
male streamers wouldn't really get any of that. And I would be basically, it's a lot of like comments about my appearance, how I should wear, what I should wear, how I should do my makeup, why do I wear so much makeup, why do I she doesn't wear enough makeup,
Hmm.
that haircut is ugly, or why do you have your hair short, it should be longer, oh, that's why are you wearing such a like relieving clothes, or
Hmm.
like I would wear a t-shirt like or something, and
Hmm.
oh, like, oh, that's too, like you cannot wear, like, oh, she's doing it for attention, she, like, people are only watching because she's a girl and she's pretty,
Hmm.
or because she's showing her whatever.
Hmm.
So a lot of like, it's just so like and it's like, obviously I was aware that there is sexism in the world and there are sexist people and stuff,
Hmm.
but I just didn't understand like the level of it in our society. I truly didn't, because
Hmm.
obviously I didn't face as many people at once like watching me before, I guess that's why. And then
Hmm.
plus it's the internet, so people feel like they can
Yeah.
say whatever they want, they don't
Hmm.
feel like there be any justice, or anyone would say, because they can be anonymous, they don't need to
Hmm.
like show their face or tell their real name, so they feel more power, I guess, in that sense. And so I was just shocked. I was very like, I mean, at some point I was discouraged to stream. I was thinking maybe I
Hmm.
shouldn't like really do it, because it was kind of affecting my mental health. And
Hmm.
not that, I mean, obviously there are a lot of good people there, and a lot of like, were a lot of positive comments and stuff, that people were supporting me and stuff, so that was great. And but just that, like how our brain like naturally reacts to negativity more,
Hmm.
and we remember it better than positive comments. So that's, I guess, that's the partly the reason why it affected me so much, I guess. But also the fact that I've noticed that some people were, there's this platform, I can't remember, I think it's called 4chan or something like that. So
Yes.
basically,
Okay.
I'm guessing that people somehow, again, like, so my streams are attracting a lot of people, like to
Hmm.
say, like, every time I stream on Reddit I have like 500,000 people watching me, so you can imagine
Whoa.
the amount of
Hmm.
people there. And so I guess some people who didn't like my streams, or didn't like me, or it was somehow personal to them, they were creating some kind of like anonymous groups where they would like announce that I'm streaming, and then they will go into my stream and they will like write all this crap like that I just described to you, like all together they would do it. And then the other thing with Reddit is that they don't always have moderators on the stream, so when they do, it's great, they just delete those comments, and then the whole stream is positive and great. But when they don't, the other people like who are just there to actually watch me streaming, they would leave because they'd say like, I really like the stream, but I cannot stand these comments. It was so much negativity that people were not even able to watch it, so that kind of speaks for itself. So yeah, and all of that kind of, it was overwhelming, but it was also like an eye-opening experience for me, just because I understood that there's clearly a gap in the development of our society that is still not developed enough. It clearly needs more improvement. And so I kind of think that when something like this happens to you, it's probably not worth to keep silence about it or like ignore it, because it's like, it's a very clear problem, it's a clear issue. And if it happened to me, maybe it happened to me for a reason that I need to speak about it. It's not like I don't really have a very big platform, but I still have a platform. So I feel like I should, address it. And this is what I did. I kind of, I wrote a post about it on my Instagram, and then I received a few stories from other girls who were saying that something similar happened to them, and not necessarily that they were streaming, even just girls like, I don't know, posting a picture of themselves and they will get the same crap. So it's not really about, I mean, obviously it's harder for girls and for women to be online, but this is problems that we face in our day-to-day life, not just necessarily online, to be honest. This is just like, again, on the internet, it's just people feel more power, and then they just basically say their thoughts out loud. But those people are also walking on the streets, and that's the thing. The scariest thought is that this is how they live their lives. This is how a lot of people actually live their day-to-day life. This is the type of thoughts that they have every day. And so, again, like, yes, on the internet they can put it in the comment, but then we don't even know what, like, in real life they can do something else and also put some girl or women down. But also another thing is that online is even more dangerous, just because I'm a grown-up, but what about, like, for example, on Reddit I see a lot of kids streaming, like, I just the other day I saw a girl, I think she's like 13 or 14, she was like singing and playing the guitar and stuff, and then what happens if they comment the same things to her? How do you know she will have like she'll be able to take it well? How do you know it will not affect her mental health? You know what I'm saying? It's just a very dangerous thing, to be honest. And so yeah, I kind of decided to talk about it, and then as I said, like I received some stories from girls, and then some guys also commented, and some said like, oh, I didn't even know this was an issue, or like, we didn't even know that this was happening. But I think it's good because people should know and people should talk about it, and then maybe like next time they see something like this happening, they can stop that person, block them, or reply to them and tell them to stop, whatever, just take some kind of action. Some kind of action is better than no action. That's what I think. So basically, yeah. And then I wrote a song about it, but that's just a separate thing, because this is how I deal with my, issues. I usually write music. And so I guess it was just my response, like my mental health response to that. I just kind of needed to let it out. And so that's what I did. So yeah, basically that's the story.
Thank you for sharing. I know it sounds like a lot of people, like you said, just aren't aware of it. Especially, I think men aren't aware of it. And that you just told us, I think that's, like you said, a big step, just informing people, letting them know, at least get the conversation started. And see where things go. Hopefully things get better. But yes, I think I love the internet. Obviously, it's a great thing. We're talking right now on the internet, but the fact that you can say anything on the internet and there's no consequences, just, it makes things it brings out the worst in people, it seems.
Yeah, but also the fact that now we're in a digital era, and everything is, especially with lockdown, everything is happening online. So it's like this is how we socialize right now. And imagine, like, and this is what our society is like. This is just not right. This shouldn't be like this. Who wants to live in a society like this, like filled with negativity and sexism and misogyny, like when people are hating on each other? It's just like I don't know. And then if you're like if you're not online, and you, like, some people do this, like they do detox, they delete their accounts for that reason as well, because they just like so tired of seeing all the negativity. But then in the times like we live now, it's also a bit isolating, because then you just are staying at home and you're not doing anything. So there is clearly like, yeah, there's something that needs to be done. And I mean, not there is no quick fix, but as you said, like it's good to have a conversation about it, and it's good to talk about these things, because when you start doing even the smallest steps, it's always good, because it thrives for further development.
All right, Lisa, is there anything specific you'd like to achieve in your lifetime?
Yeah, I guess like I would like to continue doing music, and
Mm-hmm.
become more and more, I guess, better at it. I don't know, like I don't really have like a clear idea of like, oh, this is what I want, like I want a Grammy
Mm-hmm.
or something. I don't really have that.
Yes.
But yeah, I would just like to write music, collaborate with people, be able to probably collaborate with artists that I like, and for that I need to, I guess, have more listeners, and I really want to, one time in my life at least, I really want to write music for a movie, like score the
Mm-hmm.
whole movie. That's something that I would really love to do.
And are there any particular words or like a saying you try to like live your life by?
I guess that everything happens for a reason. Maybe
Okay.
that.
All right, Lisa, can you let us know where we can find you on social media, on Twitch?
Yeah, so my Twitch and Instagram names are Lisa Music. I spell it as Li3a Music. And my Spotify account is just Lisa, so Li3a. So if you're interested, you can watch my streams on Twitch. I mean, Reddit is the same, it's just Lisa. So Twitch or Reddit. And then if you want to listen to my original music, probably the best place would be Spotify. So yeah.
Any upcoming projects or upcoming things that you can let
Uh,
us know about?
yeah, I'm currently working on an EP that will include
Mm-hmm.
5 original songs. I
Okay.
I often play those songs on my streams as well. Actually, that's kind of how I got the idea of actually, because I never thought I will release any of this music, because it's
Mm-hmm.
very like, it's like piano and voice. It's like fully acoustic, but people seem to very like it. So I'm just gonna give it a go and release them. I'm planning to do it in March if everything goes well, but I'll see. I'll see. Sometimes it's like with releasing music, sometimes stuff gets delayed, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to promise it's going to be in March, but I'm aiming for it to be in March. So yeah.
It sounds good. Well, I only recently discovered watching music streamers on Twitch,
Mm.
and I think for anybody out there, it's a really cool experience. So with Lisa, she does some covers, she does original stuff, and it's really cool. Like with the whole song list and requests, when I first saw that, I'm like, this is such a crazy system, so cool and a fun, interactive way for
Mm.
your viewers to kind of like interact with you and influence kind of what you're playing, which is really cool. And it
Hmm.
just kind of gives a more interactive vibe, I guess,
Yeah,
which is nice.
for sure.
So I would definitely check it out. Like I said, last stream I caught Lisa playing her original song, "Not Knowing You at All," and my own, and I think those are great songs. And
Thanks.
like she said, she kind of improvises, so it might not be the same every time.
Yeah, true.
All right, Lisa, thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun learning about
Yeah,
you and
thank you.
just hearing your story and talking.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next video.